Oh, we are live now. Good morning. It's Tom Padula from TomPadulaTV on YouTube and Insegna Booksellers. It's the 11th of September, Sunday, the 11th of September 2022, and this is program number 50 of my live presentations on Facebook regarding Dante's great works. First, it was the Divine Comedy, the Inferno. Now it's Purgatorio. Purgatorio, Canto 11. A very important one because it deals with the 7 deadly sins, the 7 vices. It's an interesting canto in itself because there's also reference to Our Father's prayer. And and we're going to look at, Dante spends a bit of time on these sins, on vices rather than sins, because a vice is something that you hold inside and it makes you do individual acts, individual sins. So that's what we're going to discuss this morning, and we're going to look at not just the Canto 11 of Purgatorio, but also I'm going to do a couple of poems from Amica Poesia of mine, poetry my friend, and also, of course, choral improviso, an organized way of presenting Italian song lyrics for people to learn. And I also give a structure to these songs so that they can be used for cori all'improvviso by others as well. And they're available, of course, on my Facebook page initially, with the help of Dora and Rino Marchese. We have some sessions, singing sessions, and so there's a bit of music there as well. Today is also a very important day because my grandson Michael had received his Holy Communion last night, and after this I'll be going to the celebration party. So very happy to not to have gone there right on time because Dante calls me. There's another important announcement that I have to make, and it is the fact that I won't be doing this particular program here for Sunday, because next Sunday I'm going away for an excursion, and therefore I won't be here to do it, and I need my the help of what I've got in order to do it. And then also on the 25th of September, I'm going away again. So I'll be back with this particular podcast on the 2nd of October, Sunday, the 2nd of October, 2022. And today is program number 50. 50, it's a great number. So I'm hoping that someone comes on, because I'm not sure whether I have, it says live here, which is okay. So I'm hoping that someone comes on to confirm the fact that I am in fact live, because the other day I forgot to press the little icon. He said, this morning I have done it, but normally, it tells me. And in the corner there, it says live. So I'm assuming that it's okay. Now, thank you very much to all those people who are continuing to come back to these podcasts, to these programs, lessons, whatever you want to call them, presentations. It's, during the week. So I notice a great number of people are coming on now, and I'm very pleased with that. And I hope that that by the time we get to the 2nd of October, some people will have read the parts of Purgatorio, and especially Canti 1 to 11, because and then we'll go on from there. The idea is to actually study Dante because it's still relevant today. And for people of Italian background, we should be very proud of the fact that we have such wonderful literature coming out of Italy over the centuries. And if we are Italians, in the world, our background is of Italian background, but also people from other backgrounds who are interested in Italian literature and the great contribution of Italy, because Italy really, Metternich used to say it's a geographical expression for a lot of the history, because it was always conquered by other people from after the Roman Empire fell. And so it only became unified in 1861, and then 1866 they got a bit more land, and then they lost it in World War. They gained some more in World War I, and then they lost it in World War II, and the story goes on. And a bit like what's happening today, in today's world, I never thought that there would be wars relating to succumbing other nations in order to get their land and to get the taxes from the people. So those are old wars. We need a new way of looking at the world and respecting the nations as they've developed, or if they want to change, through a vote. Do you want to be part of us? You do it democratically, in a way, without violence, without wars. There's no need for them. We got the whole universe to explore together. It's 11:31 and I'm going to start. Okay, Purgatorio, Canto 11. Here we go. It starts with a beautiful prayer. O Padre nostro, che nei cieli stai, non circumscritto, ma per più amore che ai primi affetti di là se tu hai. Laudato sia il tuo nome e il tuo valore da ogni creatura, come è degno di rendere grazie al tuo dolce vapore. What a beautiful way to start. We say, Padre nostro che sei nel cielo, sia santificato il tuo nome, and the way Dante has said it, O Padre nostro che nei cieli stai, non circumscritto, ma per più amore che ai primi effetti di là se tu hai. Laudato sia il tuo nome e il tuo valore da ogni creatura, come è degno di rendere grazie al tuo dolce vapore. I still haven't had anyone coming on. Well, I need someone soon. Vegna ver noi la pace del tuo regno, che noi ad essa non potem da noi, s'ella non vien con tutto nostro ingegno. Come del suo voler gli angeli tuoi fan sacrificio a te, cantando osanna, così facciamo gli uomini dei suoi. So here we're going to look at this Padre Nostro by Dante. Let me finish it off though. Da oggi a noi la quotidiana manna, senza la qual per questo aspro diserto al retro va chi più di gir s'affanna. E come noi lo mal che avem sofferto perdoniamo a ciascuno, e tu perdona benigno e non guardarlo nostro merto. Nostra virtù che di legger s'adona, non sfermentare con l'antico avversario, ma libera da lui che si la sprona. Quest'ultima preghiera, Signor care, già non si fa per noi che non bisogna, ma per coloro che dietro a noi restaro. Così a sé e noi buona ramogna quell'ombre errante andava. Okay, so let's start again, okay? This O Padre Nostro che nei cieli stai. So what is really Dante saying here? Dante is saying with this particular prayer, let's not forget, this is the canto dedicated to the sin of pride. And there are 7 sins, cardinal sins, and they are pride, envy, sloth, lust, anger, gluttony, and avarice. Now, when you look at pride, we're looking at, people who are really full of themselves because, they've got something, they're so orgogliosi, they're arrogant. This arrogance comes with this sort of, particular vice. So in Italiano it's orgoglio, arroganza. In English it's also a vaunt, a haughtiness, that sort of thing. Okay, so, but without the divine, some people then forget that there's God over there that looks over everything. And if you are too full of yourself and too arrogant in your own ways, and you forget that we are human and therefore we are finite, and therefore this arrogance is not something that we ourselves should hold. We should be humble. Then there are the other virtues, the humility. You need humility to fight arrogance. So if you are a politician or an artist or a military man, the arrogance of power. Now we have a changeover of a king from the queen, who was, showed a lot of humility as well. So we hope that the new king will show a lot of humility in his ways, because, dealing with a lot of people in educated societies especially, in dealing with many different areas of life, and therefore people in government, in positions of power, ought to remember that they serve the people. So if we look at this particular prayer by Dante, and he says, then he continues, he says, okay, that's, let, vegna per noi la pace del tuo regno. So it's with God's gift, peace can be had in the world. And therefore, we should never forget that, whatever happens in life is temporary. And it's also, that deals with the arts in general too. People say, oh, I'm better than you or whatever. You have to remember when you do, a play, for example, if you got the first part, it's very important to recognize the person who opens the door for you to go in on stage. That's an important role as well. So, we all need each other. That's the message. And finally, if you, for example, have real strength, power, in a military sense, and you hold that throughout your life. But then in the end, it's a bit like what St. Francis did, give away. In the end, you do something really worthwhile. And in this particular case here, there are three people that we will meet along the way, and one of them actually goes into the street to ask for alms for a friend in need, because he was in prison and he wanted to be freed, prison of the French emperor. So that's the Padre Nostro. You do need. Yeah, I can't do that. They're calling me to go, but I haven't received anyone coming on. I do need someone to come on to tell me that I'm on live at the moment. Anyway, here we go. I'm just going to keep going. Hope for the best. Okay. So I'll just read it again. O Padre nostro che nei cieli stai, non circumscritto ma per più amore, che ai primi effetti di là se tu hai. Laudato sia il tuo nome, il tuo valore, da ogni creatura, come è degno di rendere grazie al tuo dolce vapore, your infinite grace. Vegna ver noi la pace del tuo regno, che noi ad essa non potem da noi, se ella non vien, con tutto nostro ingegno. With all our smart thinking, without that, we can't do much. Come del suo voler gli angeli tuoi fanno sacrificio a te, cantando Osanna. Save us. You have to submit to God, the idea of submission. Così facciamo gli uomini dei suoi, and that's what we should be doing. Da oggi a noi la quotidiana manna, senza la quale per questo aspro deserto a te trovacchi più di girsa affanna. So without your grace, we can't, give us your divine food. E come noi lo mal che avem sofferto perdoniamo a ciascuno, e tu perdona, benigno, non guardare lo nostro merito. So don't look at what we do wrong. Forgive us. Let's forgive each other for the things we do wrong. Nostra virtù che di legger s'adona, non sperimentare con l'antico avversario, ma libera da lui che si la sprona. So l'avversario è sempre il demonio, no? The devil, the things that you do wrong in life. Quest'ultima preghiera, Signor caro, già non si fa per noi. We don't pray for ourselves, che non bisogna, because they are, this particular group of souls are in purgatorio. So they've already reached, the doors of purgatorio have closed to the anti-purgatorio. So they don't need it anymore, they pray. But they are praying to God. Ma per coloro che dietro a noi restarono, so in other words, the ones who are living. Così a sé e noi buona ramogna, quell'ombre orando andavano sotto il pondo, simile a quel che talvolta si sogna. So this was what the souls were doing. They were praying to God in their own way. And they were, don't forget, they were carrying those heavy stones. Disparmente angosciate, tutte a tondo, e l'asse su per la prima cornice, purgando la caligine del mondo. So, this arrogance is punished. Well, you have to sort of make amends. So the amends of the people who have pride in life, but have asked for forgiveness, etc. They have to wear a heavy burden, rocks, depending on the type of arrogance they've demonstrated in life. Ok, so simile a quel che talvolta così se a noi buona ramogna, quell'ombre orando andavano sotto il pondo, simile a quel che talvolta si sogna, disparmente angosciate tutte a tondo, e l'asse su per la prima cornice, purgando la caligine del mondo. La caligine, all the things that don't make us see properly in terms of the way we should treat each other. Se di là sempre ben per noi si dice, di qua che dire a far per lor si puote, da quei c'hanno al voler buona radice. Se di là sempre ben per noi si dice, di qua che dire a far, again, we need to, we need to actually study these canti. I can't go to every single detail. Bensì de lor atar lavar le note, che portar quinci sì che mondi e lievi possano uscire alle stellate ruote. De se giustizia e pietà vi disgrievi, tosto, sì che possiate muover l'ala, che secondo il dissio vostro vi lievi. Mostrate da qual mano inver la scala si va più corto. E se c'è più di un varco, quelle insegnate che men erto cala. Che questi che vien meco per lo incarco, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I might just check it. Check this. I don't think I'm on. I don't think I'm on. Oh, Antonio Danzi, grazie mille che sei venuto, perché pensavo che non ero, che il mio live non funzionava. Quindi, come in. So, okay. My son just came in and I said, I'm doing this. So thank you, Antonio. I've been disrupted, but it doesn't matter. We go again. ok? Se giustizia e pietà vi disgrievi, tosto, sicché possiate muover l'ala, che secondo il disio vostro vi lievi, mostrate da quel mano in ver la scala, si va più corto. E se c'è più d'un varco, quel ne insegnate che men erto cala, che questi che vien meco per lo incarco della carne d'Adamo, onde si veste, al montar su contra sua voglia e parco. So, here we got Virgilio now that meets these souls here, and don't forget they've got they have that big rock on their shoulders, and he says, your son, can you show us? Because they're going to show you miracles. Can you show us a way to go up to the next circle of purgatorio? Show us, or or souls that are now going closer and closer to here. There's a beautiful there's a beautiful line. It says alle stellate. It mentions the stars where paradise is. It says you're going to get. Can we go up, because this guy here with me, Dante, he actually has a body. So. And he says, oh yes, of course, we're going to show you a nicer way to go up. Ok? Le loro parole che rendero a queste che detta avea colui che io seguiva, so, non fur da cui venissero manifeste, ma fu detto, a man destra per la riva con noi venite e troverete il passo possibile a salir persona viva. E se io non fossi impedito dal sasso che la cervice mia superba doma, onde portar convienmi il viso basso, cotesti che ancor vive e non si noma, guarderei io per vedersi il conosco e per farlo pietoso a questa soma. So the person from underneath says, I am actually, I can't see the guy that's following you. But if I didn't have this weight on me, I would love to see who he is and find out, a little bit. They're always interested in what goes on in the world, these people here, and what the world can do for them, because they're in purgatorio. Purgatorio, in the Middle Ages here, the belief that a prayer. Don't forget, the church used to sell alms, make money from that as well. But, there's no mention of that here. But the souls are asking the world, the people in the world, to actually pray for them so that they can be forgiven quicker. So that, their years of penitence will be diminished in purgatorio. So therefore, he says, what a pity that I can't see him. But, come follow me and I'll show you the way. Okay? And so then he says, from underneath, he says, per farlo pietoso a questa soma. The soma is what he's carrying on his shoulders and can't lift his head. But he tells his story now. Io fui latino e nato d'un gran tosco, Guglielmo Aldobrandasco fu mio padre, non so se il nome suo già mai fu fosco. L'antico sangue, l'opere leggiadre dei miei maggior mi fersi arrogante, che non pensando alla comune madre, ognuno m'ebbi in dispetto tanto avante, ch'io ne morì, come i sanesi sanno, e sallo incampagnatico ogni fante. So he was so arrogant all the time that every person from Siena, i Senesi, they know about my arrogance and, the arrogance of the Aldo Brandesco. That's the family, Guglielmo Aldo Brandesco. Guglielmo Aldo Brandesco fu mio padre. Okay, so, but he was the son. And he kept that arrogance that comes from being born in a rich family. Here it is, Prince Charles. He's had a silver spoon in his mouth all his life. He can be totally arrogant, let's say, but what is the lesson that he's learned through life? And he's of my age. He was born in November. I was born in February, 48. So I can understand that he has learned the gift of humility, because humility is a gift for people in positions of power. It's not something that comes to you automatically. For many years, Prince Charles was derided for his beliefs in climate change, the environment. They call him the Green King. He rightfully is a Green King, because he's taken and he's visited many countries. He knows different cultures, the multicultural nature of our world, the multi-faith nature of our world, and each individual. Now, if you can retain that humility on the throne, that's a great thing for the world, for all people. And it's an important element that we are discussing here. So the weight of arrogance is a heavy one. But if in the end you recognize that is a vice of the category of people that you come from, then you can make amends. Because, Charles hasn't been totally, we know his story, let's say, but it's a good example. And I'm using it today because it's appropriate that I do so today. So he says a Sanese, io sono Umberto, non pur a me danno, superbia fa, che tutti I miei consorti, ella, tratti seco nel malanno. So this arrogance has been bad for people in my family. E qui convien che io questo peso porti per lei, tanto che a Dio si soddisfaccia, poi che io non fe tra I vivi, qui tra I morti. So I cannot do here what I did in the world. Ascoltando chinai in giù la faccia, un di loro non questi che parlava, si torse sotto il peso che li impaccia e vidimi e conobbimi e chiamava, tenendo gli occhi con fatica fisi a me che tutto chin colore andava. So Umberto did not raise his head, but someone else close to him did, and he said, dissi io, lui, non sei tu o derisi. We leave Umberto to his own punishment, and decide against Oderisi, l'onor del Gobbio e l'onor di quelle arte calluminari chiamate in Parisi. Oh, so you are here too, Oderisi. I know you, you're a painter from Gubbio, eccetera. Frate, diss'egli, più ridono le carte che pennelleggia franco-bolognese, l'onore è tutto suo, è tutto or suo, è mio in parte. So people come after you, if you're an artist, always seem to overcome your worth. So you have to learn humility as an artist as well, because it doesn't matter how famous and important you are at the time will come when someone else overpowers you, comes on. And it's the nature of the world, the humans, that things keep on moving forward all the time, and therefore you have to give space to people who live today. So once you are gone, that's it. You're just another soul. Therefore, be aware of that. Don't be so arrogant when you succeed as an artist, or as as in other industries as well. I'm sure all industries, the corporations, etc., the bank, the CEOs of this world. So that can be a lesson for all of them, because Dante says, don't forget humility, people. If you're in a position of power, that is a very big vice that you can develop, because that's what the nature of that particular activity leads you to. It's a culture. You have to fight the culture, and therefore you have to learn to be humble. Beh, non sarei io stato sì cortese mentre che io vissi, per lo gran disio dell'eccellenza ove mio cuore intese. I was so good at my work that I thought, I don't need God here. What do I need him for? You don't even think about God. And he's the one who gave you the gift in the first place. Or you got a gift that you owe to him and to the rest of the universe. Di tal superbia qui si paga il fio. You have to pay here for that, for that superbia, for that arrogance. E ancora non sarei qui se non fosse che possendo peccar mi volsi a Dio. Then one day he asked for forgiveness. O vanagloria delle umane posse. Come poco verde in sulla cima dura sono raggiunte delle etati grosse. So it 10 minutes of glory and then it passes. Credette Cimabue nella pittura tenerlo campo e ora ha Giotto il grido, sì che la fama di colui è scura. Cimabue, Giotto is overcoming. Così ha tolto l'uno e l'altro guido la gloria della lingua e forse nato che l'uno e l'altro caccerà del nido. Disse Guido Guinelleschi e Guido Cavalcanti, people who were famous in their own times for their writings, for their poetry, and of course Dante, of course, came straight after him. Don't forget that Guido Cavalcanti we met him in hell, and Dante overcomes these people. Che l'uno e l'altro caccerà dal nido. So people who do art, eventually they, it's like they're in a nest, they moved on. Non è il mondano rumore altro che un fiato. It's like a breath. Di vento che orvien quindi, e muta nome perché muta lato. Che voce avrai tu più se vecchia scendi di te la carne, che se fossi morto, anzi che tu lasciassi il pappo e il dindì, prima che passi il millenno, che più corto spazio all'eterno, con muover di ciglia al cerchio che più tardi in cielo è torto. Now, this requires quite a lot of explanation here, but I'm just going to keep going because time is running. Colui che del cammin si poco piglia dinanzi a me, Toscana sonò tutta, e ora appena in Siena sen pispiglia. Ond'era Sire quando fu distrutta la rabbia fiorentina, che superba fu a quel tempo, siccome ora è putta. So in his time, Siena was superb and Firenze was superb, and now they are put. They're like puttane. That's what the current word is. That's they sell themselves for profit. So when they should be giving it away for free, or for whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that here. It's like an invective by Dante. He sort of likes to throw in a bit of his own against the people who he considered, who put him into exile. Dante went into exile for the rest of his life, and he knew, and that's probably, he knew why he was poor. He experienced poverty, because when you go, you're on the road, you go from one to the other. But he was lucky too, because he had some powerful friends. But occasionally he must have suffered quite a lot in his lifetime, and he was always writing, of course, and therefore, in a way, he probably had more time in his hands because people knew about him in his heyday, and they made allowances for his exile. And so look up the Dante's life story, an interesting one. Again, I can't do the whole lot here, just too much. La vostra nominanza, let's go back. La vostra nominanza è color d'erba che viene e va, e quella discolora per cui ella esce dalla terra acerbe. E io a lui, tuo vero dirmi ancora, buona umiltà, e gran tumor m'appiani, ma chi è quei di cui tu parlavi ora? So, quelli rispose Provenzano Salvani, ed è qui perché fu presuntuoso a recar Siena tutta alle sue mani. He was so arrogant, this Salvini. Ito è così e va senza riposo, poiché morì, cotal moneta rende a soddisfar chi è di là troppo oso. He was so, he was really quite himself. He was really, really strong in his heyday. But he did one thing that other people in life don't appreciate. He showed charity. It's sort of it's humility, but it's also charitable. And no one mentions the fact that this act here of this guy here, what's his name? Provenzano Salvini. E se quello spirito che attende prima che si penta l'orlo della vita, qua già giù dimora e qua su non ascende, se buona orazione lui non aita, prima che passi tempo quanto visse, come fu la venuta qui l'argita. He asks himself, he says, I can't understand. I remember him. I remember this guy. He was so arrogant in life. I can't understand why he's here. And he's in purgatorio. He should be in the antipurgatorio before, even though, but he did something really special. Quando viveva più glorioso, disse liberamente nel campo di Siena, ogni vergogna disposto s'affisse il campo di Siena. I think I've seen it. Il campo di Siena, a big square. He went to ask for elemosina. E lì per trarre l'amico suo di pena, and there, in order to riscattare, in order to pay for his the prison sentence that Carlo, that Emperor Carlo I of France, che sosteneva nella prigione di Carlo. So he was in prison. He was in prison. Si condusse a tremare per ogni vena. So in other words, he asked per l'elemosina. So can you imagine someone who's really, really arrogant, and all at once you see him in front of coals and he's asking for elemosina. Now, I don't appreciate people who ask for elemosina in our world, but some people do it, and probably they're testing me as well, because I find it hard that in a world like ours, there should be people in the street asking for elemosina. Surely, we've got good institutions that would not allow that. But you do not allow it only if you're helping them out. In other words, these people here need all our charity from our institutions. So if somebody's hungry, let people like, the big corporation, the Coles, the supermarkets, this and that, to help these people out, to give food. And I know they do. And people, wear their clothes. And I must say, my son has got a good heart that way, Andrew. He likes to give things away. Whereas if you chi poco ha, caro tiene, they say. So when you think that you got a little, you hold it to yourself. But maybe when you give it, when you've got very little, that's when you really show your charitable self. Or maybe you show charitable self in order for you to get something in return. Because when I was at university, somebody used to teach or whatever, used to get a lot of money, and the day that he got paid, he went to spend it on cakes, this, and gave it all away, straight away. But then when he didn't have it, all those people would help him. So I'm not sure. I've got to work this one out for me. But Dante helps me making amends with my thoughts of the past, of my past life, yes, and the way maybe I should proceed in the future. And that's why I recommend Dante Alighieri, the reading properly, for us. And I have some books, of course, Insegna Booksellers. I want to put these books in people's hands, and I'm available as well to then proceed to so that you too can read Dante Alighieri to other people. I can show you the way. So, if you're interested in Dante, contact me. Più non dirò, è scuro so che parlo. Those are Dante's words. Ma poco tempo andrà che tuoi vicini faranno sì che tu potrai chiosarlo, quest'opera li tolse quei confini. So very soon, he says, the fact that you guys, are looking for divine grace here and you're being punished accordingly, let's hope that the world, people behind, pray for you that have passed away so that you can join paradise. On that note, that's it. And believe it or not, I have a beautiful poem. Don't forget, I won't be doing this now for another 3 weeks, okay? I don't know, I sort of, some of my poems now seem to be very appropriate to the canto. This one here is called La stella del mondo. Guarda la luce del sole, o dolce amica, continua a vivere nella speranza, o anima diletta. Tu sola salverai il mondo, o creatura divina. La fede, la speranza, la carità sono per te 3 dolci fiammelle che ardono nel tuo cuore gentile con crescente forza d'amore. Esempio di divina umiltà nell'eterno mondo terreno, fai sì che gli uomini riveriscano la tua beltà, la tua anima. Sei donna mortale, lo so, ma acquisti sembianze divine davanti ai miei occhi terreni. La virtù è per me un ideale, per te, o cara amica, è una realtà. Guardo il tuo pallido viso, guardo il tuo sguardo pieno di bontà, m'accarezzi con dolci parole, m'accarezzi col tuo amore infinito. Vedo te e le stelle nel cielo, tu sei la stella che irraggia le stelle, in te s'avvolge tutto l'amore del mondo, in te i sogni delle creature diverse. It reminds me very much of the poems from Il Dolce Stil Novo. And this was dedicated to someone I used to really admire as a person in my younger days. But then, of course, like everything else, the next poem was Sogni perduti. But initially, it's an initial thing. The star of the world, for those people who don't understand Italian. Look at the light of the sun, O sweet friend. Continue to live in hope, O delightful soul. Only you will save the world, O divine creature. Faith, hope, charity are for you 3 sweet flames which burn in your gentle heart with a growing force of love. Example of divine friendship in the eternal earthly world, ensure that men revere your beauty, your soul. You are a mortal woman, I know, but you acquire a divine appearance in front of my earthly eyes. Virtue is for me an ideal. For you, oh my dear friend, it is reality. I look at your pale face. I look at your glance full of kindness. You caress me with sweet words. You caress me with your infinite love. I see you and the stars in the sky. You are the star that lights the stars. In you is wrapped all the love of the world. In you the dreams of different beings. So this was, someone who was admired by quite a lot of young men. Okay, so the next one is, it doesn't last long, does it? Sogni perduti. Stella nel ciel cangiante, perché scompari in un momento? Sto io diventando cieco o sei tu che sparisci nel tempo? Ricordi quel tempo passato quando io, in quella sera d'estate, guardavo te nel cielo infinito e sentivo il tuo calore nel mio cuore? Freddo è il presente, ghiaccio è la mia mente. I tuoi raggi ormai perduti in altri mondi, in altre sfere, non più toccano quel piccino che vive al di là dei sogni miei. Rimpiango quel momento nel passato, quando io guardavo te nell'infinito. Tu, oh cara amica, prendevi la mia mano e mi portavi nel cuore dell'utopia umana. Ora non oso più guardare, non oso più alzare gli occhi miei verso il cielo. So che non potrò mai più mirare nell'alto, non più sognare. So, these are lost dreams. Welcome, Angela Imola. Thank you for coming on. Lost dreams. Star in the changing sky, why do you vanish in an instant? Am I becoming blind, or are you disappearing with time? Do you remember those times past when I, on that evening of summer, looked at you in the infinite sky and felt your warmth in my heart? Cold is the present, ice is my mind. Your rays now lost in other worlds, in other spheres, no longer touch the child who lives beyond my dreams. I regret that moment in the past when I looked at you in the infinite. You, oh my dear, took my hand and brought me into the heart of human utopia. Now I no longer dare to look, no longer raise my eyes towards the sky. I know that I won't ever again look up to heaven, never again dream. These poems were written, many, many years ago, in the 70s. Oh well, time flies, doesn't it? Tutto che passa, tutto passa. And now we're going to go to Coro all'improvviso, all right? And we're going to have a lot of fun because this week I did something very important with Dora and Rena. We sang the first part, or was it the second part, I think, of Coro all'improvviso program number 2. And I start with this one here. There we go. Here we go. There we are. Happy to start another afternoon of activity. Where are we? Can I see it? There we are. There's another one there. And there we start. Well, let's start with the trio here. Il trio Lucano numero 2.
Number 2.
We're doing enough songs. Now, today is a very important time because I've organized the second lot of choral improviso songs. So the first lot we know. And this is the second lot. And we're going to start with Nel blu dipinto di blu. Then we have the one after that. No, we'll do them 3 at a time, okay? Okay, so we'll probably do 6 today, if we like it. All right, well done. Okay, thank you. And let's start with Nel blu dipinto di blu, o Volare, of course, made famous by Domenico Modugno. We don't, can't compete, but we're going to try and honour him in our memory.
Yes,
okay.
we can.
All right. Nel blu dipinto di blu. Come on, Rina. Penso che un sogno così non ritorni mai più. Si dipinge con le mani una faccia di blu. Poi all'improvviso venivo dal vento rapito. E cominciava a volare nel cielo infinito. Ancora più su, mentre il mondo pian piano spariva lontano laggiù. Una musica dolce suonava soltanto per me. Volare, cantare, il blu, felice di stare lassù, ma questi sogni nell'alba svaniscono perché quando tramonta la luna mi porta con sé. Ma io continuo a sognare negli occhi tuoi belli, che sono blu come un cielo trapunto di stelle. Volare, oh, cantare, oh, 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 nel blu, dipinto di blu, felice di stare qua giù. E continua a volare felice più in alto del sole, ancora più in su, mentre il mondo pian piano scompare negli occhi del blu. La tua voce è una musica dolce che suona per me. Volare, oh, cantare, oh, 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 nel blu, felice di stare qua giù, nel blu, dipinto di blu, felice di stare qua giù, nel blu, negli occhi tuoi blu, felice di stare qua giù con te. Well, that was the idea of this, is that you too can sing Volare anytime. But this is the next song that you can, we're going to do now. Now, the second song of the first three of songs is Paese, made famous by Nicola Di Bari, and here in Melbourne by Rina Marquez.
Thanks.
It's his, Dora said that's his song.
That's
his song. Okay, but I'm going to join him, of course. I can't let him be on his own. He's had too much credit in the past, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I'm going to attach myself to you,
sure
and, and let people say whatever they want. Okay, all right, let's go. Paese, Reno, come on.
La più bella cosa che la vita ti può dare
E la gioventù, ma piano piano se ne va. Hai 20 anni ormai, cosa aspetti ancora? Hai la tua valigia e giunta l'ora di partire. Con un grande amico che di poco ti abbandona, me ne sono andato per non ritornare più. Forse son cambiato, ho la mia gamba, stessi come mi ricordi mentre insieme a lei. Paese dove si nasce, sei come il primo amore, non ti si può scordare. Paese, sono stato ingrato, e non mangiava se non ero ritornato. Paese, lei non capiva che in fondo non si vive solo per amore. No, lei non lo sa. Paese mio, questa è la verità. Ringraziando il cielo posso dire è andata bene, e quella valigia non la ricordo più. Ora ho quasi tutto, ma se ci penso su, quello che mi manca resti sempre solo tu. Paese dove si nasce, l'amore non ti si può trovare. solo d'amore. No, lei non lo sa. Paese mio, questa è la verità. Well, that was Paese, and I've divided the choral improviso songs into 4 parts or 3 songs each. So that's a program that you can do at home. You can sing these songs. So just look up the words and go for it. Okay, so this is the next one. The third song of the first set for choral improviso is Qui comando io, made famous by Gigliola Cinquetti. So we've mentioned Domenico Modugno, Nicola Di Bari. We're in good company, Rina. We are in really good company. Thank you, people. Thank you, those beautiful singers. You are really great people, and you've gone into history. So now we are doing it
to the future.
because we're moving towards the future. One of these days we'll do our own songs, no?
Maybe one day when you're a bit more fresher.
You never know. You never know.
Country,
Well, welcome to Filippo Ranone Raponi. Good cousin of. It's good to see Filippo coming on. Here we are. Oh, I've got the wrong one. No, oh yes, the next one is this one. Well, let's see. I'll stuff it up. E qui comando io. Come on, Tom. It's my song. Cara Rosina, quelle stelle che tu mi fai fare, cara Rosina, le devi pagare. E qui comando io, e questa è casa mia, ogni ti voglio sapere, e qui comando io, e questa è casa mia, ogni ti voglio sapere, chi viene e chi va. Devi pagarle con sangue e dolore, finché la luna, devi pagarle con sangue e dolore, finché la luna le cambia il colore. E qui comando io, e questa è casa mia, ogni ti voglio sapere, e qui comando io, e questa è casa mia, ogni ti voglio sapere chi viene e chi va. Quando la luna la cambia il colore, vieni che l'ora, quando la luna la cambia il colore, vieni che l'ora di fare l'amore. E qui comando io, e questa è casa mia, ogni ti voglio sapere, e qui comando io, e questa è casa mia, ogni ti voglio sapere chi viene e chi va. No. E qui comando io, e questa è casa mia, ogni ti voglio sapere, e qui comando io, e questa è casa mia, ogni ti voglio sapere, chi viene, chi va. Good one. I like it, Quick Comando here. So there are 3 good songs that you can try at home. And now we're going to go to the next lot. Okay? And that's the second set of 3 songs here. That's a picture of, that's Reno and his mother. There you are, nice one. And here we go. Now, choral improviso, and this is the second lot of program, and this is the second set of the second program that we're developing right now. And there are 3 more songs, and we start with Chitarra Romana. I think it's dedicated more to Italian cities and the region. I think it's a good set, this one. Okay. D'ora Chitarra Romana. Di stelle, Roma bella mia pare, solitana mio cuore, disilluso d'amor, con le labbra cantare, una muta fontana, e un balcone lassù, oh chitarra romana, accompagnami tu. La mia chitarra lascia piangere il mio cuore, senza casa e senza amore, mi rimani solo tu. Se la voce è un po' velata, accompagnami sordina, la mia bella polarina, al balcone non c'è più. Lungo te deve dormire, mentre il fiume cammina, io lo seguo perché mi trascina con sé e travolge il mio cuore. Vedo un'ombra lontana e una stella lassù, oh chitarra romana, accompagnami tu. Se la voce un po' velata, accompagnami sordina, la mia bella fornarina, al balcone non c'è più, oh chitarra romana, accompagnami tu. Chitarra Romana, beautiful song. You don't hear it so much. It's good for, sung with a group of people. It's fantastic. I love that. So the next one is dedicated to another important city of Italy. The second song is called Firenze Sogna. It's a beautiful song, and we're going to sing it now. Okay, yeah, let's go. Yeah. Let's go. Well, come on, Tom, don't wake up. Here we go. Firenze sogna, dove? Un manto di stelle, che il cielo risplende tremule come fiammelle. Nell'ombra nascondi gli amanti, le bocche tremanti, si parlano d'amore. Intorno ci canta poesia, perché vita mia, si ispira il mio cuore. Sul giorno d'argento si specchia il firmamento, mentre un sospiro e un canto si perde lontano. Dorme Firenze sotto il raggio della luna, ma dietro ad un balcone veglia una donna bruna. Balconi adornati di campi e gricini fiori, notte schiudetevi ancora che passa l'amore. Germogliano le serenate, Madonna ascoltate, son 1000 canzoni. Un vostro sorriso è la vita, la gioia infinita, l'eterna passione. Sull'orlo d'argento si specchia il firmamento, mentre un sospiro in canto si perde lontano. Dorme Firenze sotto il raggio della luna, ma dietro ad un balcone veglia una Madonna bruna. Sopra l'interno senti un'armonia d'amore, sospirano gli amanti, stretti stretti, cuore a cuore. I'm going to go over time because there's one more song that I want to, that I want you to hear, and then we'll conclude, and then I'll be able to go to the communion celebration. Okay, so here we go. The next one. Well, this is the third song of the second set of the second choral improviso program. Here we go with Lamento d'Amore. It's a beautiful Sicilian song, and the music is splendid. We need a choir, of course, but we don't have one, so we're just going to do it, and that's it. All right, so here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Lamento d'amore. Comincia, Tom. Okay. Rivoto e mi rivoto, sospirando. Passo intieri notti senza sonno. E libidi ci tolgo contemplando. Mi passo di la notte fino al giorno. Pittia non posso nulla a riposare, paci non più, sta freddo cuore. Tu vuoi sapere quando stai a lasciare, quando la vita mia finisce e muore. Mi rivolto e mi rivolto sospirando, passo intieri notti senza sonno, e ridi che ci tolga contemplando, mi passo di la notte fino al giorno. Pittiere non posso nulla a riposare, paci non ha più, sta fritto cuore. Tu vuoi sapere quando stai a lasciare, quando la vita mia finisce e muore. Quando la vita mia finisce e muore. Wow, that's a lovely song. It's sad, but now thank you very much for coming on. especially I didn't think that I was live for a while. But thank you, Anna Paula, for coming right at the end. Of course, this particular program will go on now and become part of the podcast series of the Dante Alighieri series, Dante's Divine Comedy. It's been a good hour for me, in spite of all the bits and pieces that, they could be edited out. But when you're live, no? And that's the beauty of it. I love it when it's live. Now, next Sunday and the Sunday after, I will not be doing this. I'll come back on Sunday, the 2nd of October. In the meantime, you can look at the podcasts. There are on Insegna.com, also on this Facebook page, YouTube, and my TomPadulaTV.blogspot.com. There's quite a lot there. And what can I say? Thank you once again. Arrivederci. Grazie mille. See you next time. But the Tuesday one, my Tuesday program is on. Okay, so that's the Italian lesson coming up on Tuesday at the same time. Grazie di nuovo, arrivederci. Tom Padula from TomPadulaTV on YouTube and of course Insegna Booksellers.